What's going on, people? Welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing great. Good evening. I hope you're having a great day. And yeah, man, guys. Obviously, I'm previewing the games of the Premier League. In this video, though, I just want to specifically look at the Liverpool-Arsenal game that is going to be playing at the Emirates on Sunday, Super Sunday. Great game of football. I am anticipating. Oh, I guess I should say I'm anticipating a great game of football. I'm going to be watching the game. It's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal do in the game. Liverpool obviously have had a rocky start to the season. They obviously won against Rangers midweek, but in the Premier League they've had a rocky start. They've drawn against Fulham, Brighton, Crystal Palace, just won against Newcastle, lost against Man United. So it's been really like, if Arsenal win against Liverpool this weekend, Liverpool are going to be 14 points behind Arsenal after 10 games. And that says a lot, really. Or after 9 games, really. Because even though this is match week 10, we've only played 8 games so far because I think match week 6 was postponed because of the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. But basically, if Arsenal win this game, after 9 games, Liverpool are going to be 14 points behind Arsenal. Now, obviously, it's still early, and I'm not going to say Arsenal are going to win the league or whatever, because we all know that Liverpool, as they've proven before, obviously they've lost Mane, so we don't know how they're going to do without him. But last season, they were 14 points or 15 points behind Manchester City. And by the time the Premier League season was finished, they were only 1 point behind City. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Liverpool are going to claw that gap back and they will end up finishing second or finishing first. I personally don't feel like they'll finish first unless something drastic happens at Manchester City. When I say something drastic, I mean Haaland gets injured, Alvarez gets injured, De Bruyne gets injured, Foden gets injured, and Grealish gets injured at the same time. Because losing only Haaland is not going to change anything, in my opinion, because I think the players we still have in the squad are still capable. We are still capable of playing Julian Alvarez as the striker, and he's a decent finisher. He makes those runs into the box. He's not Haaland, so he's not going to score 3 hat-tricks in a row or whatever, because he's not Haaland. But he's still a very decent footballer, and even if we were to lose Haaland for a month or like 5 weeks, I think we could still cope. So unless something drastic happens at City, I don't see anyone winning the league title but City. I did say that Liverpool, in my predictions when I was predicting what's going to happen at the beginning of the season, I did say Liverpool are going to be the closest challengers to Manchester City at the beginning of the season. Now, last week when I made a video, I forgot which one it was, I did say that if Arsenal beat Liverpool, I am changing my pick and I am putting Arsenal second in my predictions for top 4 this season. I'm putting City first, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham. But only if Arsenal beat Liverpool. Now, obviously, there can be injuries. For example, an injury to Gabriel Jesus, I think changes all of that. I think, actually, an injury to Gabriel Jesus can be so catastrophic for Arsenal that just because of it, they couldn't even, they could be in a situation of not even making top 4 if they lose Gabriel Jesus. I think that's how important he is to the team. I don't think Eddie Nketiah is capable of even being close to what Jesus gives them going forward. So I still, obviously Liverpool could still prove me wrong or whatever. But if Arsenal beat Liverpool on Sunday, let's say 2-0 or 3-1 or 4-1 or 4-2, I back Arsenal to finish second if they are able to keep their players fit. And also maybe if they do some business in January to kind of bolster their squad so that should they get any injuries, they're able to have some replacements. Because it's going to be very difficult, especially come February, March, April, when they're in the latter stages of the Europa League and they're in the round of 16, they're in the quarterfinals, and they have to juggle that schedule with the Premier League. Because once you get to those latter stages of the Europa League, you can't now make 10 changes to the team and play a weakened side. Why? Because you're coming up against other good sides. So, at this moment in time, they're playing against teams from, Norway, Denmark. So, they're not playing teams of real good quality. But come the latter stages of the Europa League, when they're going to be playing against other teams that are decent, they won't be able to make 10 changes to the team that plays in the Premier League and play a completely different team in the Europa League. Otherwise, they'll get knocked out. So now they're going to have to play their first 11 in the Premier League and also play their first 11 in the Europa League. And I think that's going to be hard to juggle. So I think it would be great for them if they are able to make some shrewd signings during the January window. But obviously, there's still a long way to go. Great game of football to look forward to this weekend. Arsenal, Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool have had a rocky start, as I've already said that. They did win their last game against Rangers, but they have had a rocky start to the season, and they are nowhere near the levels that they've shown in previous seasons. Their midfield seems to be lacking energy. Fabinho is playing at a very low level compared to the level that he has been playing at in previous seasons. Robertson is obviously injured at this moment in time, I think. Trent is getting found out defensively. Virgil van Dijk is playing bad defensively as well. People are starting to run at him. People, like strikers, are starting to have some confidence in terms of taking on Van Dijk. For a number of years, attacking players were scared of attacking Van Dijk. When they had the ball and they had the chance to run at Virgil, they would look for a safer option, which is a pass, or which is kind of like turning their backs on him and basically passing the ball backwards instead of trying to run at him with pace. But now, since that opening day, since that opening weekend of the Premier League when Mitrovic took him on and ended up getting a penalty against him, everyone fancies their chances with regards to taking on Virgil van Dijk. So he's not been good defensively. Alisson is not as good as he usually is in terms of his shot stopping, because there's plenty of opportunities that teams used to get against Liverpool even in previous seasons, but Alisson used to always be on top form and bail them out. So I think Arsenal have a decent chance to win against Liverpool, and their fans actually have some confidence going into the game for the first time in a long time when they play against Liverpool, because certainly in the previous 2, 3 or 4 seasons, they've lost every game they've played against Liverpool. But they're now going with some confidence in the game because of the team that they have, because of the way that they're playing. As I've already said in my previous videos, I think Arsenal, together with Manchester City, are currently playing the best football this season of any team. I think before the Manchester derby, Arsenal were playing the best football, even better than Man City. But I think after that display in the first half from Manchester City in the Manchester derby, I would kind of put them at that level as well. So I think Arsenal are going to fancy their chances against Liverpool. I think they have all their players fit. So there's no reason to Partey is fit, Jesus is fit, Martinelli is fit. Martinelli is going to be fancying his chances against Trent Alexander-Arnold, because Alexander-Arnold has been kind of getting found out defensively. I'm not saying Martinelli is going to put Trent on toast, because Trent could come out on top, because I think Trent is capable of defending when he's at it, and mentally when he's really focused. Sometimes this season he's been off it, he seems like his head is somewhere else when he has to defend. So I think Arsenal are going to fancy their chances. Salah hasn't been playing great for Liverpool. He only has 2 goals in the opening 8 games, which by his standards, that's really not up to standard. Firmino has been the one who's been a spark in terms of offensively scoring a few goals. I think he already has 4 goals so far this season, if not 5. Luis Diaz has been decent as well. Jota has obviously come back from injury, so that's going to be a big boost for Liverpool. I think Henderson is also fit, so it's going to be a big boost for the midfield. Thiago, I think, is a doubt for the game. So I'm sure Klopp is going to be kind of biting his fingernails a bit, because I think Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain are still injured. So I think they're going to have to play Harvey Elliott or Fabio Carvalho if Thiago is not fit. I think Fabinho, as I've already said, has looked like a shadow of his former self in terms of he was performing at a very high level in previous seasons, but now he's off it. As I've already said, Virgil is off it. Trent is off it. So I think Arsenal are going to fancy their chances. I actually fancy their chances as well. But obviously Liverpool are a decent outfit. And Arsenal play an attacking style of football. And therefore that means there will be spaces for Liverpool to attack. So as unconvincing as Liverpool have been so far this season, Arsenal are not going to sit back against Liverpool. Apologize the guys for kind of like my video kind of being halted there. My alarm disturbed my thing. It disturbed my video. But I was saying, I think as much as Arsenal are going to fancy their chances against Liverpool, Liverpool are going to fancy their chances against Arsenal. This is a good opportunity for them to get their season back on track. They could win against Arsenal and only be 8 points behind them instead of being 14 points behind them if they lose. And the reason why I'm saying Liverpool are also going to fancy their chances is the fact that Arsenal don't sit back. Arsenal want to play an attacking style of football. And as a result of that, Liverpool will get opportunities. It's not a matter of Liverpool are going to struggle to get opportunities. Liverpool have enough quality in their team to get opportunities against against Arsenal, because of the way Arsenal play. So if Liverpool are clinical in the game, they could actually beat Arsenal. And Arsenal were beaten by Man United, so it's not like they are, even though they've only lost one game so far this season, it's not like they are invincible or whatever. So I think there's a good opportunity for Liverpool to get their season back on track against Arsenal, because they also, they do have some potency going forward, like that being Liverpool, obviously. And they can hurt Arsenal. And Gabriel is a bit shaky defensively for Arsenal. So I think it's going to be a fascinating game between Liverpool and Arsenal. And also, I think, what was I thinking about just now? I forgot. I just thought about something just now, a point I wanted to make. But basically, I think Liverpool are going to have a good chance of scoring against Arsenal. And if they can score and maybe score 2 or 3 goals, they could win. They could very well win against Arsenal. Oh yeah, the point I wanted to make though about Liverpool was that they have to start improving in terms of their intensity. Too many times so far this season, their intensity is non-existent. They seem lethargic. They seem off it in terms of their pressing. Now, the style of Jurgen Klopp is heavily reliant on that pressing style. So if now they can't press or they can't play at a high intensity, then it's going to be very difficult for them to basically replicate the performances that they've put on in previous seasons and to put on a performance against Arsenal. And Arsenal, in terms of intensity-wise, are one of the best teams in the league so far this season. So Liverpool are going to have to pick up the slack with regards to competing intensity-wise in the game against Arsenal. So I think it's going to be a fascinating encounter. It's going to be a great tactical battle between Arteta and Jurgen Klopp. It's a big game for Arteta because it's another good opportunity to make a statement that they have arrived and they're going to challenge for the league by beating Liverpool, who have been City's closest challengers in previous seasons. So I think it's going to be a fascinating game, and I am very much looking forward to it. If I'm predicting it, I'm going to go... This is hard to predict actually because Liverpool are not playing that great, but I think they can hurt Arsenal because Arsenal are certainly not invincible. And the way they attack, if Liverpool can hold their nerve in terms of offensively, they can score against Arsenal. So I'm gonna go for a Liverpool win. Actually, I don't want to go for a draw because I don't want to sit on the fence. I'm going to go for a Liverpool win 3-2. I'm going to go for a high-scoring game. I think Arsenal are going to score. I think Liverpool are going to score. But I think Liverpool are going to edge it. I think I'm going to go for a 3-2 win for Liverpool. And obviously, guys, if you have any comments on the video or on my previous videos, please comment in the comment section of the videos. Also, please push the thumbs up button to like the videos. And please push the notification bell so that you can get notified each time I post a new video. And guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, man, guys, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. Have a lovely evening and enjoy the games this weekend. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video when I'm reviewing the games. Good luck to all your teams. And thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Thank you for watching.